Alrighty, welcome back. Another Galactic Parcel Service development stream. I am your host, Crooked Lily, Crooked of Crooked Lily. Yeah, been a minute. Been a couple days. Been like 4 days or something like that, I think. Man, it was crazy. Finally getting a dryer installed was nuts. Like, I don't know, man. It's been like 2 months since I've had a dryer. We've been doing our clothes and then just drying them outside on a rack. And then I have like these string lights and stuff. I've just been putting the socks and underwear and shit like that on the string lights to dry off. Excuse me. It was like, I think it was Friday. So everybody's backed up on laundry. And then Friday, we end up getting the new washer and the new dryer. Well, I say new in like air quotes, but basically it was like a return from Lowe's. So they were heavily discounted. So we picked them up. And we sat on them for a long time. Like my dad actually picked them up. And then on Friday, we brought them in, installed them, and it leaked immediately. So the washing machine leaked like crazy. So I had to fix that. So that took all day. And then we ended up putting like silicone and stuff all over the little tubes and shit to get it to not, and an attempt to get it to not leak. But that meant I had to wait 24 hours to do laundry. And so come Saturday night at like 8 o'clock, I super excited to do laundry because everybody's in the house bitching at me to not procrastinate any longer. So I finally do my laundry, and then I go to use the dryer at like 10 p.m. and come to find out that there's something wrong internally with the dryer, and the drum spins and hits something, so it makes this crazy grinding noise and it smells like it's burning. And so yeah, it was like 10 or 11 p.m. and all my clothes are still just soaking wet, sitting in the dryer. Didn't get to use them. Suck. So I had to cancel stream on Sunday because I had no clothes. Like I took every article of clothing I had and washed it. I don't have a lot, but right. So the only thing I had was sweatpants, and I was like, dude, I'm not going to be able to stream in no shirt and just sweatpants. There's no chance I'm going to wear just a sweater. It's already 1,000 degrees in this room. My little green screen cubicle. Like, not gonna happen. So, apologies for that. Feels like I've been gone forever, but anyway, I'm here. I haven't done any game development either. Like, I haven't had my medication for a while because I suck at putting in a prescription refill request. And I always wait till the last minute, and then I get like one thing, and then I end up procrastinating to the point where it's like, oh, I don't have medication, and then I have to put in the prescription refill, and it happens to be like a Thursday, and it takes 3 business days, which means that they're not going to get it on Friday. They're not going to do Saturday or Sunday. And like, dude, so I haven't really been working on the game either, as shitty as that sounds. Like, I did a little bit of work on, I believe it was Saturday afternoon, but nothing major. Tried to do experimenting with like blue colors for borders. Sorry, I'm trying to arrange something really quick. What the frick? What the frick? There we go. Yeah, so yeah, tried to do something with colors and the borders aren't working, and it won't do my asset thing like I originally envisioned, and I don't understand why it won't do it. It won't go out and connect. It looks like it's just using the asset bundle cache constantly. So I think what I'm going to do is do an experiment where I'm going to disable the asset bundle cache, so that way it uses just the assets that get shipped with the game instead of trying to download a revision of them, and see if that works. I have no idea. It's infuriating that I don't have an ability of clearing the asset cache after it's been implemented, like after it's been used. I tried to do that, so I thought that would be a solution, like clear the asset cache and force it to re-download the new assets, but then every time I go to do it, it says, oh, your asset cache is already in use. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, that's dumb, so not really sure how to fix that. But yeah. Ooh, actually, you know, I just realized This was one of the only things I did. Shuttle route builders should not say the dock button. Anyway, let's just jump straight into it. Hope you guys have all been good. Hope everybody's had a good weekend and a good time. I miss you guys. Miss talking, miss chatting. Miss game development. Feels weird sitting around and being antsy and like not having a direction in life, not having a direction in the game and stuff. Like very motivated 90% of the time. But when I don't have my medicine and ADHD kind of like takes over my whole body, I have a really hard time like sitting still and wanting to just get stuff done. Like I get so uncomfortable and then I have brain fog constantly. It just sucks. So it's weird that I lived like that for so many years of my life. Because now it's like, I don't really know how to explain it. It's just weird. That's all I know. All right. Again, let's just jump straight into it. Okay. So. Oh, let's see here. What's an easy one that I can just take care of? Missing command label when upgrading ship build speeds. What? Why? That doesn't make any sense. Is it across the board? Let's see. Let's find out, huh? Game manager. So the way that we're going to do this is we're going to go to the game manager and we are going to tell it, let's see here. We're going to do something really quickly. There we go. All right. So we're in Unity. You can see my little blue icon right here. It's so nice looking. Whatever. We want to not use dev timings because I want to actually build the thing. Hey, my little tentacle. Awesome. Yeah, this is what my wife was working on. It looks really cool too. Like in the game, it's got this nice like come out animation and does this little like wavy idle thing. It's got a cool, it's got a cool attack animation. It's nice. I just have to implement it in the game yet, so we got to do that. Oh, man. Rusty. Well, let's go ahead and delete the database and start over. Let's take care of these bugs. Yeah, see, it like pops out and unfolds and does this cool little like, oh, that's so good, dude. It looks so cool. Oh, I love it. Okay, anyway. Yeah, look, it's got this like nice blue border around it and stuff. It's so frustrating. It's so weird that it just, my asset system that I've used for so long, like, doesn't work anymore, kind of, seemingly, maybe. I have no idea. But we'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out now that I can actually dedicate some time to it. But, yeah, because we're on a push now to start polishing things a little bit better. Like my temporary UI system that I made and started designing has kind of just transitioned into being the permanent UI, and that was never really the goal. So there's a lot of things that it just like my UI feels like it has no soul. So that's what we're going to try and work on over the next months until we get into some sort of beta release or whatever, which I guess you could technically call this a beta release, but it's not like an official one because I'm just handing out Steam keys. But yeah, anyway, enough chit chat. We were testing out. They don't have a command label when upgrading ship build speed, so let's take care of that. I like the blue. This looks so much nicer. It really does. Like even up here, like this thing over here looks so much nicer than the brown that I had, you know? Anyway, definitely want to go towards this direction, I think. Let me know. Wait, we exist. We have packages too.
We want our packages shipped, please.
I forgot what I was doing. Oh, upgrades. Ship build speed. So it is missing there. Is it missing here as well? It says dock. Are they building? Hey, look at that. He's building. And when I go to here and I look at the ships, utility ships, it just says docked. It doesn't say that they're building. Okay. Well, let's see here. Ship list button. I'm pretty sure I replaced... Oh, no, I did not. That is right. Well, I can already see one. I can already see the shipbuilding part here, but not here. Also, there was a thing that I replaced. Let's see. Selected unit cell. Oh my goodness gracious, I did not do what I thought I did. What? Excuse me. Game command handler is building based command. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's try and replace a lot of this stuff then, because you have shipbuilding. Yeah, so this is part of the reason why I did this in the first place, because this is stupid. I hate this. I hate this so much. Why did I do that? Display command? Oh, I'm so confused on why I did some of this stuff. Okay, anyway, we need to replace build beacon, refinery, all of these builds can all go away. And I can see I don't have shipbuilding in here, which is dumb. And we are looking for an equality check. So if it is building, we don't have any other building ones over there. So we're going to say selected ship.current command. All right. Awesome. So that replaces all of the other ones. Next, we need to do the same thing, except for some reason we're doing a NAT check on all of these things. Rogers Stadium. Yeah. Shipbuilding, build. Shipbuilding science guy. Okay. Just gonna go ahead and put that first, because it looks nicer. Okay, and we should be able to do the exact same thing here. We don't want any of these builds, because it's dumb. We are looking for quality check. We're gonna do that. And then the same thing here. We want to get rid of all of these builds. And we are looking for not that. Yeah. Sure. Let's see what happens. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, I'm gonna have to go wash my hands. I don't know what I did. Off to a great start, Ryan. You are off to a great start. Am I? Am I, though? Let's see. I mean, I know that the command is not going to be going at this moment because it runs in the background. So shipbuilding has upgraded, or shipbuilding has completed. Awesome. But let's do a new one. Shipbuilding speed upgrade. Okay, let's click on our little ship guy. Hey, look at that. Upgrade shipbuilding. That's weird that it says that. And then we go to hub fleet, upgrade ship building. All the rest of them don't say upgrade. They just say fuel station. What's it called? Like, whatever. The description is not important. What is important is the fact that we can tackle this bug. Boom. Okay. Whoa, I marked that as in progress. Oh, that was the last thing I was doing before I stopped. Thief stole a package. Edit labels, in progress. Let's go. Thief stole a package, got killed, dropped a point of interest, and the game crashed. Point of interest line 30 or 60, because I, for some reason, did not grab a screenshot. So we will do point of interest line 30 or 60. Well, I can tell you line 30 doesn't make any sense. Should remove point of interest. False. That's definitely not going to be it. Is it right there? Should remove point of interest. Let's make it a little bigger. Yep. Should remove point of interest. I'm not making it that big. That is way too big. So, gotta be 60, right? If package equals null, return. Interesting. So it wasn't 30 or 60, because package is just going to say package manager, package table, get package ID. If it contains key, grab it, grab the package, otherwise return null. Oh, that's annoying. And this is a result of me not... Oh, what the heck? Why did it look like it exploded? I gotta go back and look at the VOD later. But it looked like there was a little explosion next to my face. Yep, I don't know why that happened. How about we just get packages stolen a whole bunch and then kill them? Is that what happened? Thief stole package, got killed, dropped the point of interest, and the game crashed. Ugh. Man, that's annoying. My thought on that. On update. It was probably faster for me to just leave it the way it was, but figured I was already doing a contains key check. I might as well in the package thing, and I don't know, just me changing shit unnecessarily. We're gonna leave this one as in progress, this task, and just play the game later. Yeah, we'll just play the game later. Also, this one is so infuriating. Holy shit. So it's when picking up a package, the hazard contraband banner pops up every time a package is added instead of just the package in question. So if you have a hazardous package and the pop-up was warning you you picked up a hazardous package, watch out. It does it every time. Every time you pick up anything. It's so dumb. Where do we do that? Good question. What if we do just loaded? Bummer. Would it be ship collider handler? I don't know if I do that in the collider handler. Hey, look at that. On trigger exit. Why did I leave all this stuff? Don't know. Don't know. Also, I'm confused on this. Ship collider handler. What? Don't know. Let's see. Where would that be? Let's go to prefabs. We need prefabs, chips. Ship collider. Yeah, see. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make any sense. Ship recovery collider handler. Detection collider, that's the burn off. Selection collider resizer, avoidance. Interesting. I don't have a ship collider handler on anything anymore. This isn't even on anything. Ah, that means my solar stuff doesn't work either. What? What about enemies? Enemies do not have a ship collider handler. Even in ship recovery collider handler. So I am not using this code anymore. Interesting. All right. Oh goodness, I don't remember. Yeah, I have no idea what I was doing. Let's see. Well, it's annoying that I called it ship recovery collider. The ship collider handler, ship recovery collider handler, like it doesn't make any sense. Oh, hey, look at that. All right, well, it looks like it's working. So we're just not using ship collider handler anymore, which is dumb because I feel like that's a much better name than ship recovery collider. And what did I name this thing? Oh yeah, see, tagged, untagged, layer ship. It should, that. Ah. Okay. It's an issue because I had originally done ship collider handler and put it on the root of the ship. So like the actual parent of the ship way up here, which you can't see on the vertical side, but way up here, instead of making it a child component. And so what ends up happening, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, but when you have a component, like a script on a parent, and then you have on trigger enter, on trigger exit, or any of those kind of collision handlers, it listens for all of its children. So it'll handle for all of its children. So if you have this code right here, if I have this code on the parent object, and then make a child with the collider, this code will run instead of just, it handles like me as a person. I have the script, and then each one of my child parts, like the hands and feet and legs and stuff like that, have colliders, and they send that information. Essentially, they send it upward, I guess. And so I had to do weird shit where it was like I had a ship recovery collider on the parent, and then I had a recovery collider as a child component, and then a bunch of other things. And I finally decided and realized, like, this doesn't make any sense the way I'm doing this. I keep like layering band-aids on top of band-aid on top of band-aid, and I don't want to do this anymore. So I tried to decouple the parent having a collider and a script that handles collisions, and just delegated that to all of the children. So each one of the children has their own collider that does the specific thing with the code that handles just that specific thing. So like ship recovery collider really doesn't make any sense. It should be just a ship collider handler. It's the main one that handles like for this specific thing. What does this child component run into? And then you have like I have a local avoidance collider that does its own thing, that has its own code, and then that can only, and if you structure the layers correctly, you barely need to use tags. You can just use code. I say barely use tags, and then I'm littered with col.tag equals ignore case, but which is an extension method that I wrote for strings. I was tired of not having discipline on my string, like the way that I would write stuff. Sometimes I would do discovery collider and have them all lowercase, or discovery collider and have it all uppercase. Like, what a stupid system. So What I think I want to do, and hopefully not break every single aspect of this game, is go back to my ships and see if I have a reference to it, which I do not. Awesome. Because I am going to delete ship collider handler as a class, as a piece of code. Ship collider handler. Ship collider handler. Ugh! I don't like this. I don't like that I just did that. Whatever. Audio input capture. Hey, look at that. It's actually inputting the capturing the audio input. It does what it does. Nice. All right. Next is renaming ship recovery collider handler. So that's what we're going to do. Ship recovery collider handler. Rename. And it is going to be called ship. Can't see what it's doing. Ship collider handler, because it handles colliders on the ship, or at least like the main bulk of things. And yeah, I'm just trying to get a little bit better at isolating colliders, handlers, having the correct component actually talk to the thing in the first place. Like, it kind of seemed weird to me that it's like my ship was handling when it ran into a discovery collider for a location or a package or something, instead of the discovery collider just like I could have, it's just one isolated thing, you know? The discovery collider, when a ship enters the discovery collider, it discovers itself, right? Instead of the ship being like, well, what was it that it ran into? Who gives a shit? Why am I doing that? Why not just have the discovery collider be the thing that was responsible for on trigger enter, on trigger exit? Which I'm still doing it in ship, by the way. So when I go to ship recovery collider, which it's not going to find because I renamed it, ship collider handler, which I now need to rename symbol, because we're going to remove the recovery part. Ship collider handler. Awesome. Go back. Yeah, so you can see, like, I'm still doing it here, where it's like, oh, my ship ran into a discovery collider. Like, you know, we should do something about that. Like, I could have a discovery collider script on the discovery collider things, and that's the only thing it does is, hey, like, discovery collider can only collide with ships. I believe so. Let me verify that before I keep talking. Project settings. There is physics 2D. Delivery collider. What the fuck is that? A delivery collider can collide with locations? Oh, yeah, that makes sense, because I have a delivery collider on my hub station, and instead of just doing distance checks all the time, I just have, hey, let's have a big-ass delivery collider that listens to the delivery distance, and then as it touches things, we add or remove. That way it adds or removes what can be in the delivery range in real time. Make sense? We want a discovery collider can only collide with ship. If you are on layer ship, that is the only thing that it can do. So I can actually remove code by taking this out and putting it in my discovery collider. Like, if I were to make a discovery collider. Which isn't probably not the worst design, right? Because if we go to locations, asteroid, we'll see that we have a discovery collider. There's nothing on it, right? So I could easily just break out this functionality and add a script onto these things that just gets the component. Because all we're doing is getting component in parent. Yeah, because it's the collider that we had, and then discovery collider is always a child of the thing in question, and we also don't really care what the thing is because it's an interface. It's just whatever object is discoverable, just call it. It doesn't need to have a fancy thing. And since we can only collide with a ship, I don't even have to do any like is enemy checks or any of that stuff because enemies are on their own layer, the enemy layer. They're not on ship layer. And then once it's discovered, it turns itself off anyway. You know what? I'm going to get distracted for a sec. Add component. Let's do this. Add component. New script. Discovery. Collider. Handler. It wants me to put it somewhere. Where should I put it, baby? Oh, good question. Colliders. That's fine. Discovery, collider, handler. Boom. Save. Awesome. Okay, we'll get that set up. And then we'll copy the exact same thing, which is basically... well, we don't want... so here's the only issue that I can see is iDiscoverable as is discovered. Is this discoverable? Ready to be discovered. Interesting. That's why I had that property. Because I wanted you had to implement is initialized. What if I did this? Would this work? I don't know if this is going to work, so we're about to find out. Observable pool. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that either. You definitely can't do this. Yeah, you definitely can't do that. I know that because no initializations. But I can have this. And then let's do something like location, for example, because location is going to be mad at me. It is going to say that it doesn't implement is initialized. Makes no sense. Is initialized. Can I do protected? Still going to be mad at me? What if we did not protected? Interesting. Why can't I do protected? Does that work? I mean, this really, at the end of the day, I don't really give a shit. Like, it doesn't really make a difference whatsoever. Yeah, okay. I just didn't want to have an ability of being able to accidentally set it. I'm not entirely sure why I can't just say, like, using protected here. Like, why does that matter? Like, it lets me do it, right? Like, protected. Protected. Right? It lets me do that. And then it says, location does not implement. Location cannot implicitly implement a non-public member in C#9. Cannot implicitly. I don't want to implicitly implement. No code actions available, my asshole. Location does not implement view problem. Yeah, okay. No quick fix? You're dumb. You're gonna get mad at me, right, if I go over here? Oh, what have I done? Let's see if I can do this. Go back. See, and then it gets mad at me like, oh, you don't have the protected. What the god? Oh, all right. Tried. All right, let's see if that gets mad at me. Galactic system does not implement blah, blah, blah. Is initialized. Awesome. It's also weird that I don't just say, like, new. Observable. Bool. Is initialized. Equals new. What? I don't have to have a thing right there? Yes, I do. I was like, there's no way I don't have to have a thing right there. And I know the default is false, but it bothers me that I don't have it as false. You know what I mean? And then why are you mad? Is initialized dot property equals true. Nebula. Interesting. Oh. Interesting. Where is that? Excuse me. Oh, there you are. Nope. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Oh my god, I suck at typing. Then you're going to do the same thing where you're going to say is initialized. We got to say dot property equals true. Okay. I don't know if this is the best thing in the world to do, but observable bool. Yeah, because of the private set. That's the only reason why it didn't go. It's not the worst. I just want to be able to get that property from the thing. So it's like guaranteed that it will have it now. And that's all that matters. I'm just trying to force it to have it on there. We have ship collider handler. We want discovery collider handler. Oh god, I don't know all this stuff. Okay, so what we are going to do is the same thing we do all the time. When we wake up, we have this all the time. Okay. So, grab these things. We're just going to copy pasta, dude. And instead of it ship, it's going to be I. Discoverable equals owner. Collider is going to be discovery collider. Discovery collider. Awesome. And then on awake, we're going to say it is not transform.parent. We want get rid of all this. Get rid of that. Change to discovery collider. Also, it's just a collider 2D. Oh yeah, collider 2D. That way I don't give a shit about the shape. If I want to have a discovery collider be some crazy ass like polygon or rectangle or something else, like it doesn't matter. And we did on trigger enter should be get component I discoverable, and it needs to be get component in parent. All right, so the discovery collider object is now going to have its own class or its own script. It's going to get the iDiscovery component from its parent, because it should be an immediate child. Asteroid, points of interest, all of that stuff should be an immediate child, or should have an immediate child of Discovery Collider. And it is going to get that component, which is going to be the owner. It's going to get the collider, and it's going to listen for is initialized on property changed. We are going to say if it is initialized, and again, since we are a discoverable, I can check to see if we are discovered. We have an is discovered property, which I very much want to switch this to be an observable bool as well. So let's get this working first and then get this working. Is this discoverable? Ready to be discovered. Is this discoverable? Discovered. I don't like these comments. They bother me. I don't want them. I know what it means. It's pretty damn easy to understand. Is initialized. Is it initialized? Is discovered. Is it discovered? Like, I don't need comments when it reads like a book. Okay. And we don't need any exits either. We don't care about exits. I found one issue right off the bat. That is frustrating. We have dark stuff in the game, or at least have plans to have dark stuff in the game. So you're going to have a dark location that won't show up on scanners, won't get discovered, any of that stuff, unless you have the attachment for dark scanning. So the issue I can see is you have a dark location, you enter its discovery collider, the ship doesn't have a dark scanner, so therefore it doesn't get discovered. Right? But then and so you sit there, then let's say you add the attachment for a dark scanner, which should now trigger anything that you are in the range of, but on trigger enter won't fire a second time due to the fact that you are sitting there. So I think what I have to do is maintain a list. Like, the Discovery Collider needs to maintain a list of the ships that have entered, and listen for any navigation changes. And if it happens to have a dark scanner added to it, then it wasn't discovered, then it can go ahead and do its thing, which should only really happen, like, you know, I'm going to turn the collider off anyway after it's been discovered. So, like, when I go to a location, for example, location, and then I go to discovered. Discovered? Oh my word. You spelled discovered. You go to the bottom, discovery collider is not equal to null, then enabled equals false. Yeah, so we're turning ourselves off, you know, once we've been discovered. Which, here's another reason why doing this whole discoverable thing is discovered, because on awake I could just listen for my property of is discovered, or on start rather, listen for my property is discovered, and then just what I can handle myself too. Like, once I get discovered, I can turn myself off. Like, I don't have to be doing it in the discovered thing all the time. So another reason why I want to go ahead and do this. But again, we're going to do that after I get this working. That is the plan at this moment. Anyway, I think that is what I am going to have to do, is I am going to have some sort of a list of the ships that have entered, and then as they enter, I need to listen for changes on those ships. Oh man, you know what would be awesome too? Because I keep holding references to things. So what happens if I hold a reference to the ship? I tell it that I want to listen to navigation changes, and then I destroy the ship. Right? So I'm wondering if my ship needs an is dead property, and basically, like, right before it dies, it sends out a notification to all listeners like, I'm dead. And then anybody that is listening for that property can then do something with it, like remove it from a list if it happened to be held in a list, or any of those kind of things. So I think that might solve a lot of other problems that I have randomly, where it's like I'm holding a reference to a ship and then the ship dies. And then if I'm not checking it or doing, like, dude, it'd be much easier to just listen for if the fucking ship dies. You know what I mean? Let's take this, because I get ahead of myself a lot of times. So let's do private list ship right? We're going to say M. Just call it chips. Doesn't really matter. Call it chips. All right. Chip collider handler. We want. Why do I have it as public virtual? When the hell am I ever going to override ship collider Oh man, I just noticed that I did that. I wonder why I did that. We definitely don't need it to be virtual. And we do want it to be on trigger exit. And the reason why we actually need an on trigger exit for this is because of what I was saying. By holding the reference to the ship, if it was dark, you know, we want to clean up any listeners if we exited, which on trigger exit would actually get called when we turn off the ship, like when the ship dies, and we like, because I'm doing set active false prior to destroying the ship, that is triggering any trigger exits. So we might not need to do the delegate, but I'm probably going to go this route first and then see what issues arise. But on trigger enter. Oh, also, when initialized property has changed, if we are initialized and m owner.is discovered, we want to set it to true. Not discovered, sorry. It is going to be off by default. Right? We are just turning it on if we are initialized and not discovered. And we're doing this on awake? No, we are not doing this on awake. We are setting up the property change listener on awake. So we're not actually setting this here. We're setting it in a different place. We're just setting up the listener to pay attention to when initialize gets set and if we are discovered. And is initial, ow, that fucking hurt my hip. What did I do? It's because I'm old as fuck and I'm dying. Ugh, gross. So, well, back to it then. Okay. On trigger enter. Well, we already know that a Discovery Collider can only collide with a ship. There is nothing else that it can collide with. So there should be no reason whatsoever for us to oh, I just realized that's a fucking pain in the butt. I'm using is dark as a way to filter out discovering, which means that it's a part of an iDiscoverable. So an iDiscoverable can have a property called is dark. So bool is dark. Also, I want to know if I can do this on a interface. Not gonna let me do it, is it? Field is not a valid attribute location for this declaration. Valid attribute locations for this declarations are property. Yeah, because you need to be, I could do that on the thing that is implementing iDiscover. Is dark. Oh yeah, we didn't need is dark to be an observable. That doesn't make any sense. But we do need this to be a get set. And we do need it to be field. What's it called? So we'll go ahead and just copy this, because I guarantee you there's going to be other things that are discoverable, like a point of interest is going to have an is dark property. Oh, now I remember the whole discovered what's it called thing is because I need to, basically I'm managing them separately, but I need the package. So is dark here doesn't really do anything, right? Like is dark, right? But let's get rid of this. Let me try something. Don't think this will work. Field keyword is not available in what's it called? Excuse me? Please use language 14. Field keyword. I have to do a get set. Well, shit. So this is what I wanted to do. Interesting. Yeah, the reason why this is not working is something I don't understand, to tell you the truth. I really have no idea what it means by field keyword is not available in what's. So we're gonna have to look that up to figure out what this is. I really don't know what this is. I have absolutely no idea what that is. Field keyword is not available in C#. Contextual keyword field is not available in C# 9 because it was introduced as a preview feature in C# 13, fully supported in 14. To use field keyword in your C# project, you must use net 9 or later. The field keyword is tied to net 9 runtime. Set the language to preview. No, thank you. What in the world is a field keyword? I don't even know what that means. Great feature. Can't wait to see it get delayed till C# 15. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Field. Maybe null. So I think and then setting. Let's go back to iDiscoverable. What if we don't have a set? Can I do that? I just need to check if it is dark. And then it's up to whoever wants to implement this to implement this. Right? Can I do that? Then you're going to tell me that you can't serialize the field. That's fine. This would actually work. Because I'm not interested in setting the point of interest to be dark. I'm interested in using it as a check just to see if it is dark. We are going to have an issue with is discovered if we were to do something like implementing is discovered, because what am I trying to say here? For basically the exact same reason. is the point of interest isn't the object that's actually holding the value for is discovered. So doing something like this and then saying like we need to set it, but like we can't set it on that property specifically. Right? And I guess I'm a little confused as to why I wasn't able to do a set package is dark equals value, right? Let me try, actually, because I'm trying to set myself up for how it's going to work here. Oh no, that works perfectly fine. There's no reason why I couldn't do it because, yeah, is discovered is basically saying you have a property called is dark that has a getter and setter, and it's up to whoever implements the thing in order to control that getter or setter. So it actually does work that way. You don't need this right now, but it will come in handy for this is discovered thing, which is going to be a pain in the butt, maybe. We'll see. We will see how that's going to work. I'm not entirely sure how that's going to work. But like I said, one step at a time. One step at a time. Okay, point of interest. We do not... Oh, well, that's interesting. So even though I have an I discoverable, only having the getter part, you can have the setter and it still satisfies? I guess because minimum specs were done. Is dark has a thing. Okay. Well, I'm not doing it anyway, but that might come in handy eventually. Conditional expression can be simplified. Why? How? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So, is dark. Okay, that's cool. Now we can go to location, which is going to have an is dark property, and we're basically just setting it and getting it, you know? Because this one, we actually have an ability of setting and getting. All right, let's see what Unity yells at me for. Galactic system does not implement I discoverable is dark. Okay. And what's the other one? Nebula? Oh, it's the same as everything else. All the discoverables. Nebula doesn't have an is dark property. See, you don't need to be observable. That's ridiculous. Why? No. No thanks. You can just be a regular one. Bool does not contain a definition for property. I don't know why I was doing this. I don't have any idea why I was doing that. Is dark, there's no reason to have is dark as a property like that, as an observable. When is something ever going to flip from something to not dark? It doesn't make any sense. Whatever. So. Let's see if we can remove this here. All right. Discovery Collider Handler. Alrighty. That is what we are trying to do. Discovery Collider Handler. Man, I want more coffee. So, on, trigger, enter. This is what we need. Except, it do not care about the coal tag, all that other crap. I don't care about any of this. We don't need any of this. We are guaranteed that we are going to run into... Yeah, I don't need any of this stuff. I really don't. We need to get the ship that ran into us. So var ship equals... Oh, bad. Coal.get component in parent. Right? Because that is what we're doing. Our ship collider is a child. We need to get it from our parent. We cannot collide with enemies because enemies do not discover things. Var ship collider.get component in parent. All right. We also only need to do the ship's list if we are dark. Because then we have to actually set up some sort of a listener for when they do their thing. So let's do... how do I want to do this? If mOwner.isDark, else, yeah, if we are dark, do something. Otherwise, let's just discover ourselves. That's all it is. That's all it is. Like, we don't even have to get the ship, right? Like, we only need to get the ship if we're dark. It's the only time we ever need to listen for anything. But like, if we ran into a ship, right? Owner. Whoa. Owner.discovered. And then it is going to say we have to give it some sort of a game object or a discoverer. Interesting. Let's do collider.transform.parent.gameObject. And the reason why we're doing this is because the thing that ran into us is the child of the actual ship object, like the thing that holds the script. And so my discovered method is going to take from the game object that was discovered, it's going to check to see if ship was the thing that was set. And so I need to set the game object, like send the game object that actually has that script, which is why I have to do the transform parent. So collider transform parent, blah, blah, blah. And I do if owner is not dark, and then just get rid of all this shit. All right. I don't know why, I just think this looks better. Like, hey, if we're not dark, then just be discovered by the ship and then back out. And if we get to here, that's because we didn't get to here. So we don't need to do the... I'm trying to remove indentations if I can. It's just something that I like to do, is just try to remove indentations. Let's see. Ah! I didn't mean to click out. Say I didn't mean to click out, and then I click out like 4 more times. Like, that makes sense. Nice. Okay. So as it stands right now, this should work on its own. This should work on its own. Right? And it doesn't matter what it is that holds the discoverable property. So I'm going to put it on, there's a point of interest that gets spawned right near the first system. So Asteroid's going to have it. That's fine. Let's go make sure that we put it on everything, though. I don't care about you guys. I do, however, care about points of interest. So, point of interest. You have a Discovery Collider that is off by default, and we are going to say Discovery Collider Handler. Awesome. Then there is a Ship Wreckage point of interest, Discovery Collider, off by default, Discovery Collider Handler. And I think those are the only two things for points of interest, is Ship Wreckage and what's it called? Oh, actually, there might be one more. There might be a warp portal as a Discovery Collider also. I forgot that you were a... What? 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 What the hell is this? Why do you have a selection collider on... What? That does not seem correct. I don't know what that was. Something just bounced. What just bounced? I don't know what just bounced. So we will put that on the selection collider, I guess. Selection collider enabler, which actually needs to be no. Selection collider resizer is fine. Warp portal. You already have a selection collider on you. What in the world? And selection collider enabler. Okay, what the hell are you doing over here then? Get out of here. I will do the selection collider resizer though. That actually makes sense. But you have a selection collider enabler. That's to turn it on or off if it's on or if it's outside of the viewport or not. Selection collider, that's the thing that's actually going to handle like when you click on it and stuff. At the end of the day, it's just a point of interest. Okay. And then Discovery Collider needs to be off, and we're going to add Discovery Collider Handler to it. Everything is off, and then it'll start. Okay, so that takes care of all those points of interest. Also, do I have those things set up correctly? Because now I'm confused. Selection Collider Resizer. Okay. Discovery Collider. What's it called? Selection Collider Enabler, and then the thing. Yeah, all right. So I think everything is actually set up correctly. I think it would be nice to have the wormhole actually act like a thing, so you could click it and it told you things like, I don't know, reacted to stuff instead of just being there. But we'll get to that in the future. The only other thing was Selection Collider, Enabler, Resizer, Discovery, and that. Okay, so we're good. Position indicator? Oh, that's right. That makes sense. Just an image floating around on the map. Okay. So then, oh, the locations. That's right. So we have asteroid. We need to do galactic system as a Discovery Collider, which we are going to add a Discovery Collider onto it. Okay. Asteroid hub station. You need to have a Discovery Collider. Right. Discovery Collider Handler. Nice. Regular locations. We're going to have it as well. So we'll turn you off. Discovery Collider Handler. Moon. Discovery Collider. Turn you off. Handler. Awesome. What's next? Oh, we have, yeah, nebulas. That's right. Oh. Nebulas are not in the game. But they are an undiscoverable. That means that what's it's called is going to fail. We don't even have colliders on us. I don't care. Don't care. We were going to discover nebulas, but I don't think that's actually going to be a thing. I haven't even gotten there. I really need to get working on that. My wife is very adamant that we should have that sooner rather than later, just because of breaking up the monotony of the space look. There's nothing to look at. It's boring as shit. Again, it goes back to the whole no soul thing. Okay. So everything has a thing, right? So let's go to extensions, delete database, and start the world over again. And let's see if we get any errors, which is my favorite thing to deal with. Out of coffee. Awesome. Hey, no errors. Awesome. Chippy shappy. Where is my speed chip? I want this speed chip. Oh, I didn't do dev timings. That's right. So it's going to be all super slow. I have to pee. I should probably make more coffee just because I need something to drink and I'm a coffee addict. Hey, look at that. Your speed chip is ready for service. Go discover this thing. You know what you should do? Pause the game. Attach the debugger. Holy smokes, that is a lot of buns. All right. And then see if this works out correctly. Hey! Dude, I like the blue. I like the blue more than the, what's it called? I don't think I like the blue or the hub station icon as much, but I definitely like the blue border for these kind of menus. Please discover. And it did. Awesome. Hey, look at that. Is the owner dark? False. So it should do discovered, correct? Hey, look at that. Wanted posters was discovered. Let's go. Cool. So it actually worked first try. Well, with that, I think I'm going to celebrate by going to the bathroom and giving myself a little coffee treat. So I will be right back. Give me about a minute or so. Alrighty. I am partially back. Oh my. Because I want to. I just started coffee, so I need to go back upstairs in a couple minutes, and actually get it. But bladder has been drained, so forward progress, you know. Fucking weirdo. Okay, so now that I know that this works, it would be nice to do what I said with the discovered thing. I've wanted the ability of doing like, hey, is discovered being an observable bool for a long time. It kind of bothered me that I didn't have that. So we're gonna go ahead and just go for it. We know that location is gonna be broken. Oh, we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. Because I don't want any of this stuff. I don't want any of this stuff. What I want is is discovered dot property equals to true. Also, I want is discovered to be like that. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take this. We need to do that on things that can be discovered are gonna be, well, galactic system. We already know that for a fact. We did that earlier. We have a public bool is dark. You're gonna get mad about the discovered thing, so let's go ahead and we'll cut that out. Save data is discovered dot property. And then is discovered dot property. And the idea is I am trying to do this. Also, I don't give a shit about it being null, because why is it here? If it's null, then I have another issue. So owner dot is discovered dot on property changed plus equals on is discovered changed. Do I care about that? Do I want to set up a listener for everything unnecessarily? Because at awake, it will always be discovered false. So what I think would be better is listen for when is initialized has been switched, because is initialized gets set after all of the properties has been set. And so if that's the case, then I should be able to say, hey, if you are initialized and not discovered, then we need to enable your discovery collider and set up the listener for if undiscovered has changed. Because I think that it doesn't make sense to set up a listener for on is discovered changed if it's already discovered. Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? So we only care about this, like turning it off, when the property is discovered is set. And actually, if owner is not discovered, we could just turn it off also. Well, they're all starting off. It's actually, I have it so every single one of them is starting off. So I probably don't need to do an else if not discovered, turn yourself off, or is discovered, turn yourself off. Because it should already be that way. See, now we don't have to do, that's one less check that we have to do every time we run into something. So discovery collider handler is basically going to say, okay, listen for is initialized property changing. When the initialized property has changed, if we are initialized and not discovered, then enable our discovery collider, because we need to be discovered, and then listen for the property changing is discovered. And then, you know, on is discovered changed, we will set it to owner.isDiscovered. All right, I think that's going to be good. And Galactic System is going to be the first one to actually test this out. Nope, that doesn't make sense. We will leave that in case it doesn't work and I have to go back to it. But we will do location as the first one. Oh, wrong one. We actually don't need to do this, right? Oh yeah, I think, because the whole point is the discovery collider is taking care of enabling itself or disabling itself. And that means the same here too. So when we do this, we actually don't need this anymore either. So locations are going to be good. Is discovered.property is true, which discovered is going to be called in start. And we have set ourselves up for awake. All we've done in awake is listen for when initialized property gets set. That is it. We haven't done anything else. So we're setting ourselves up as a listener in awake, and then location is going to go through and do its, you know, it's awake, doesn't really matter. It just sets up listeners and some other garbage. I'm not really sure why these things are like that, but whatever. And why is it setting itself up as level 1 immediately? Whatever. I don't care. This is start. Yep. So here is start. Also, it's weird that I have an override start, but I don't have a base start. Whatever. Then here's your update. Yep. So on the first update call, that's when it says and flips the switch and says, hey, we've initialized. We've gone through all the awakes. We've gone through all the starts. First update frame is initialize.property equals true. That is going to set the discovery collider to go and go, hey, we are initialized now. Just a secondary check in case I accidentally set it to false somewhere. I don't want it to assume that it's true. So we're just going to do that. And then by this time, is discovered property should already be set. So if it is not discovered, enable the collider and listen for when we get set to false, and then we'll handle it, you know, however we need to handle it. And then we'll turn ourselves off. And I don't really care about removing ourselves from this. It's not a big deal at all, because as soon as the game saves and then reloads, it won't re-add itself. I don't think it's a big deal. It'll basically clean itself up as the game progresses. Hopefully, maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just like to pretend like I do. I don't have any idea. Okay. Owner is discovered. On property changed. And I'm not doing any of the is dark stuff yet, so we don't need to listen to that. We are just taking this one piece at a time. The next thing for sure that has it is point of interest is going to have an is discovered property, which I do not want this. Oh, man. Well, that's interesting.